Here's my idea for Octane workflow. I want just to load a tool. It already loads the plugin and sets the render as Octane renderer. It's loading the plugin. It's already top. And I will start with some templates. I can start rendering already. I just have to, in my render target default, path tracing medium. I just move my epsilon because I use in centimeters, right? So the idea on this window here is as following. So I have my render targets here. I'll create a render target for maybe an output animation and a panorama and several other promotional stuff from the same scene. So I have different render targets, and each render target is associated with this, with lots of connections. With Node Editor, it's nice when we want flexibility. I just select and show. It's nice, but having to change between one and another is kind of troublesome. Also, create each time we want a new post-processing setup is kind of cumbersome. So idea here is you have render targets on the left and the settings on the right. I can show all the settings, or I can show them as I wish to filter on the top. So let's say I want to create a new camera for an interior shot. I got a new perspective, and I'll just increase the field of view of it and place on somewhere interesting. Let's say here. Oh, yeah, good enough. So I'll show my cameras. Currently, my render target is set to my cameras, to my perspective view. The new camera is not yet plugged. Cameras from Maya, persp 1. Now I can render from the perspective 1. Right? If I want to switch, persp, that's outside. Persp 1 is here. But it's too dark. I want to switch to move to a different exposure and so forth. I can save my settings here. I can use a stronger post-processing or whatever I want to choose. As I said here, it will save to this. I can always revert to another option and so on. Like film settings, I have HD 70 to 720 and lots of other stuff. The other idea is I create a new render target, let's say, and I want to call this the animation. So I will just show on. I will use the path tracing high, day cycle, pairs. Let's say it's another camera, full post processing. Let's just plug in geometry group, of course, and the rest I don't really need, and a format, of course. Animation will render it. So let's say my animation I'm rendering in 7020, and my default I want to render is in another format. I'll just click the plus sign. It creates a new film settings. I can call it 2K. Of course, can start with a number. Square 2K, and I default square 2K. I set it to 40 to 14. So my default render target is set to render to 2K, and my animation set to HD to 720. If I select both of them, it shows that both are connected to something, but I want to change both to a new format. I click here. So you can see that now animation set to 1080 and render targets default setting to 1080. It's kind and let's say I want to make a night shot, right? So I'll just toggle my finger, plug not this, but environment and imager I want to see. So animation default I want both to, well, animation I want to day cycle, default I want midday, and night shot I want to night, and I can set night exposure here. This will be with default exposure because it's using midday, and the cycle is also. So the flexibility is that I can change everything easily. If I want to batch render them, that's not yet implemented on Octane, it seems. It will render everything right, but let's say I want to first make a low quality sample of my output. So I can change all the parameters to path tracing low, and it will I can batch render everything on a low or even a direct light preview preset, right? And if I'm ready with output, I just select everything I want to render and put to high, leave everything that is different, and so on. But like animation, it's kind of intensive, so I set to medium. Default and night shot stays high, and animation stays on the medium, right? So the idea is, if you want to create a new environment, like say I want a new HDR, I just click here. Since environment can be two types of nodes, I can create either a daylight or a texture. I want to create a texture. It created texture environment 2. I want to rename it as HDR indoors or dream, like say dreamy, and I can set it to whatever. I can choose now. I have nothing selected here. If I click here, it just opens on the attribute editor. If I click here while I have something selected, I can still I will change the environment for this render target to this one, and it stays the connection, and it shows on the attribute editor. And if I, for instance, I want to create a new film settings, that's just one kind of node, it creates indefinitely, right, as I wish. And everything gets connected. If you go to the node editor, I'll show render target animation, and also render target default, render target animation, like you see that everything's connected, and add this one too. So you see everything's get connected kind of without too much trouble.